Welcome to Blueprint Future, where we decode the trends shaping our tomorrow.
Remember that movie? Well, what felt like a pretty far-off sci-fi plot has now basically crashed right into our reality. So let's really get into this, because what we're talking about goes way beyond just a piece of tech. This is about a fundamental shift in what it means to connect with each other.
Yeah, the age of the AI companion isn't something that's coming, it's already here. And you know what's powering this whole revolution? One of the most basic human needs we all have, the need for connection.
Okay, so to really wrap our heads around this massive change, we have to look at the bigger picture. This isn't happening just because we've got some cool new apps. No, it's a direct answer to a really deep crisis that's been brewing in our society for a while now.
The term for what we're talking about here is synthetic sociality. And yeah, it's pretty much what it sounds like. This is the new frontier, right? People are forming real emotional bonds with code, with algorithms that are built from the ground up to be your friend, your partner, or even your therapist. So, what's the big driver behind all this? In a word, loneliness. A global loneliness epidemic. Think about this. Roughly 1 out of every 4 adults on the planet says they feel lonely. That is a massive, gaping hole in our social fabric. And well, technology is rushing in to fill that void.
And the way it's filling that void? The scale is just staggering. It's set off an absolute economic explosion. The numbers we're about to see, well, they paint a crystal clear picture of just how fast this is all growing. Get ready for this. In 2025, the global market for these AI companions is valued at a massive $37.7 billion. And let me be clear, this isn't some tiny niche market. This is a heavyweight contender in the world of consumer AI.
And if you think that's big, just look at the trajectory. By 2034, that market is projected to skyrocket to over $435 billion. We're not talking about slow, steady growth here. This is a rocket ship. And this number right here, this tells you just how fast that rocket is moving. We're looking at what's called a compound annual growth rate, or CAGR, of over 31%. What that means is the market is expected to grow by nearly a third every single year. There are very, very few industries on Earth that can match that kind of speed. Okay, so where is all this growth happening? Let's break it down. Right now, North America is leading the pack, grabbing about 38% of the market. And it makes sense, right? You've got early tech adoption and a culture that's pretty open to these kinds of digital solutions. But look, Asia-Pacific and Europe are right on its heels. This is absolutely a global phenomenon. And what's interesting is that the market is already starting to consolidate around a few big names. You've got companies like Character.AI and OpenAI commanding a huge chunk of the pie. It just goes to show how central that core generative AI technology is to this whole new social world. All right, so we've looked at the billions of dollars, we've seen the explosive growth, but now let's shift gears and look at the human side of this. What's actually pulling millions of people into these synthetic relationships? And really, how people are using these companions tells you everything you need to know. Just look at this breakdown. The top 2 uses: mental health support and social interaction. People are not downloading these to organize their calendars. They're looking for emotional connection. They're seeking relief. And when you dig into the why, it becomes crystal clear. People are turning to these AIs because they offer support that's available 24/7. It's completely non-judgmental, and it's anonymous. I mean, if you're someone who deals with social anxiety or feels isolated, this offers a safe haven, a simple alternative to the messy, complicated world of human relationships. But, and this is a huge but, all of that convenience, all of that safety, it comes with a price. And this brings us right to the heart of the issue, the central conflict here. The really profound risks and ethical problems baked right into these synthetic relationships. This right here is the fundamental trade-off. On one side, you have what experts call simulated empathy. It's perfect, right? It's frictionless, always agreeable, and it's engineered to keep you happy. But it can't actually understand or care. Then you have real human empathy. And let's be honest, it's messy. It takes work from both sides. But that's how we learn. That's how we build crucial skills, like figuring out how to handle a disagreement.
And choosing the easy path here has real consequences. We're talking about everything from emotional dependency to major worries about who sees your most private data. But maybe the most frightening risk is this idea of social skill atrophy, our real-world social muscles just getting weaker. Get this, some studies are already showing a 40% drop in empathy among college students in recent decades. A world of friction-free AI friends could just pour gasoline on that fire.
You know, Sherry Turkle from MIT, a leading voice on this, she just nails it. She says these companions give us all the good parts of connection without any of the hard work of a real friendship. And that is such a powerful, tempting idea, but it might leave us totally unequipped to handle the real thing. So where do we go from here? How do we build some guardrails around this new reality? The answer, it seems, is regulation. And when you look around the world, a really interesting picture is starting to take shape.
Right now, we're seeing two main approaches emerge. You've got the EU's AI Act, which is super broad. It tries to cover all interactive AI. Then you have what New York is doing, which is much more targeted, focusing specifically on AI companions. For instance, the New York law requires specific safeguards against self-harm and periodic reminders that you're talking to an AI, something the EU's broader act doesn't get into. Each one has its pros and cons, which means for now, it's a pretty fragmented landscape for everyone involved.
And all of this, the tech, the money, the human need, it all boils down to one final and pretty unsettling question. As our machines get better and better at being human, are we, in turn, becoming a little more like our machines? A little more transactional, a little more predictable, and maybe, in the end, a little more alone?
The answers to that question, well, they're going to define the next chapter for all of us. For more deep dives into the trends shaping our world, make sure you subscribe to Blueprint Future.